Well, it's hard to believe it's only been a couple of years since this was the norm, putting on a face mask every time that you leave the house. Remember those days? During the pandemic, the city of Seattle stocked up on supplies like masks and gowns. Well, now the city has more than $1 million of PPE just sitting in a warehouse. King 5's Connor Board has the story tonight.
A viewer reached out to King 5 concerned that the city of Seattle was auctioning off PPE online at very low prices. We went to city leaders to find out why this is happening. Inside a warehouse in Seattle, there are about 70 pallets stacked with boxes of PPE.
We have a smattering of surgical masks back here.
Mike Ashbrook with the city of Seattle says all these boxes are filled with leftover isolation gowns and surgical masks the city of Seattle bought during the pandemic.
You can picture this whole warehouse full.
He says during the pandemic, there were many more boxes full of supplies.
Up to the ceilings where we could.
Ashbrook says of the $15 million the city spent on PPE and COVID supplies, they now have about $1.2 million worth of supplies still remaining.
We made the best decisions we could, and our decision was to try to buy these supplies to make sure that we had enough to keep first responders safe, to keep our employees safe, but more importantly, to keep the residents of Seattle safe.
Most of this was for firefighters and testing and vaccination sites.
It was top dollar and extremely hard to get.
Now the city is trying to auction off some of the leftover PPE online.
And here are the gowns.
But with the high demand for PPE no longer being there, the supplies are only selling for about 10% of what the city paid for them.
It is very saturated, as we're not the only city that really stocked up on supplies. They're all trying to sell them at this time.
One city in Virginia is auctioning off 4 boxes of N95 masks starting at $20. A county in Kansas auctioning off nearly 5,000 gowns starting at $200. Even the state of Washington has at least 4 auctions of PPE active right now, one starting at $100 for more than 2,500 gowns.
Here are just the basic surgical masks.
But sadly, not everything can be sold. Some supplies are expired and have little to no value.
They have a shelf life of 2 years. And we bought them, they were made in 2020, and they expired in 2022.
Ashbrook says the city used the majority of what was purchased and that not everything will go.
We're also saving some of the harder to get things like N95 masks in case there's another emergency.
In Seattle, Connor Board, King 5 News.